Hello, welcome to the adventure. Today I'm going to show you a neat little container that I picked up just yesterday. Fortunately for me, I won a bet yesterday and I got a little bit of free spending money, and I decided to pull the trigger on this little container kit that I've had my eye on for the past year. So I'm going to show it to you. This is not it, but this is just where I'm keeping it actually for now. And this is the this is a brass container. It's called the Hudson's Bay brass tobacco kit or tin fire kit. I'm not sure exactly. Some people call it the tobacco kit. Other people call it a fire kit. I'm using it for fire making purposes. So I picked this up yesterday, and I'm sorry to say I unwrapped the whole thing and played around with it a little bit before shooting this video, but better late than never, as they say. So came in a bagged package, and there's two versions of this. So actually, technically there's three. Well, you know what? Let me explain that. There's three of this. There's the brass, copper, and silver of this style container. This is the brass one. This is the cheapest one they had, and that's the one and just in general, this is the one I wanted, was the brass. So there's brass, there's copper, and then there's silver. And then in general, there's two versions. There's the container itself that they sell, and then they have the container with the flint and steel already pre-made kit already inside of it. So online, it shows the one with the flint and steel kit already pre-made, but it wasn't until I got to the store, and that's the one I was intending to get, but then I discovered that they had tin containers by themselves, just alone. So I decided to go for the just the container itself. The reason for it is because I already have plenty of flint and steel kits materials at home that I can make up a kit. There's no need for me to go out and buy another kit. It just seems a little silly and pointless and a little bit of a waste for me. So anyways, let's get started. This tin container, as you can see, it's a nice oval shaped container. The thing on top here, it's nice. There's a nice magnifying glass right there for your one more method of starting up your ignition source. One of the biggest concerns I had was actually this lid and being on top here. Is that going to be loose? Is that something that's going to be nice and firm, tight? Does it screw on, or does it slip on? Is it going to fall off by itself randomly? Is it going to like slip off? That's one of the biggest concerns that I had so far. And so far it's on there pretty nice and firm. It's not a screw on, it just slips on and off. And unfortunately there's no screw on, which is what I was hoping for, but it is, however, on there pretty nice and secured. And besides, I am going to be keeping it in this pouch here, so it's not like if it does fall off, it's not going to go far anyway. I'll talk about this pouch later if I have some time or remember to do it. But just in general though, then of course this container lid slips on just like before, as I said, but just like this one. This little lid here slips on and off. It's on there nice and firm. It's not like it's a little slip on and off in the little breeze of air, and the thing might slip off and fly away into the wind or nothing, but it's on there pretty nice and snug. And as I said before, you can take this lid off and you got yourself a magnifying glass right there. Focus the sun UV rays, ignite your dry tinder or tobacco, whatever it is you happen to be putting inside your container. And there you go. Let's put that back on there so we don't lose it. And then here's my flint and steel kit that I added in there myself. I'm just holding it in place in general. I just finished making char cloth for this kit. So I got myself a nice big supply of fresh char cloth. And it's also a small little roll of it as well. Nice good supply. And then I added some jute rope, not jute twine, but jute rope. This stuff's a lot more thicker by comparison to the jute twine. And I find that when you pull it apart and get it all nice and fluffy, you get more material than you would with a regular jute twine. This nice jute rope. Got this at a dollar store. You can also find this at arts and crafts store as well. And then I got myself a nice, you gotta make sure that the flint rock that you put in there is nice and flat, because this tin container, I'm sorry to say I don't know the exact specs right up off the top of my head, but I'll write them down in the description of what exactly they are. But you can tell, but as you can see, it's like all in all, that's probably maybe about 3/4 of an inch top to bottom, give or take. So you gotta make sure that the rock that you put in there is flat, and hopefully doesn't take up too much space in there. But all in all, it's a great kit. This is a nice steel striker. These are sold over at the same place I got these from, which is Canadian Outdoor Equipment Co., located in Ontario, Canada. So, you know what, I'll just give this a quick shot. So you know what, before I forget, and since as I just said, this is fresh char cloth, so I might as well give it a shot and test it to make sure it's working. Let's put that there on top of the rock. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Oop, don't want to burn myself. There you go. So char cloth works good. Sorry for some of you who've noticed there's a little bit of smoke spewing on the top of the camera here. I got a mosquito coil just behind the camera hanging to keep all the mosquitoes at bay. Just for those of you who are wondering. So let's put the char cloth back in there. Steel striker in there too. My rock. Shoot. And goes right back into there. Now, of course, when it comes to char cloth, the downside is that this container cannot go into the fire to make yourself some fresh char cloth, because of the fact that there is the magnifying glass that's there. You're obviously going to damage that. It's obviously going to fall apart, break, whatever, melt, I don't know. But in general, you can't get this in the fire to make yourself char cloth. You're going to need a separate container. So that brings us to this. That's I got a small container here. This is the Wind River Heritage. These are mints from a Mark's Work warehouse that I picked up a long time ago. I don't know if they sell these anymore or not, but they had a whole bunch of these containers right at the cashier, and that's where I got these from. And I got a small roll of char cloth in there as well. And you're gonna need a separate container to make your char cloth and keep it with this tin or brass container, or you just, you know, whatever. Your choice, really. But all in all, like I said, I've been looking at one of these for a long time now. They look so awesome. They're so amazing to look at. I can just hold this and stare at it for a while and just be like, wow, it's amazing. It's really awesome. And there's a couple people I know have them as well and do their flint and steel kits as well. Magnifying glass, I'm sorry to say, it's we're in a shaded area here, so it's not like there's any sun here. I can't, unfortunately, show you the magnifying glass with the char cloth, unfortunately, but you know, everything else works great. The container holds it all really nicely. Maybe sometime in the future I might make a leather strap to put around this to secure it better, but for now I got this pouch. And speaking of the pouch, for those of you who are wondering about this pouch I have here, it comes just like this. Well, actually it doesn't come like this, but I added these little belt loop extensions so that way it can dangle from my belt. But the pouch itself does not come like this. It comes in pieces, and you can find this at a Michael's Arts and Crafts store in the leather section, or at Tandy Leather. That's Tandy spelled T-A-N-D-Y, Tandy Leather. And it comes in pieces. It'll be in a package, a Ziploc bag. It'll show a picture of what it looks like when it's done. And it'll give you all the leather, all the holes have been pre-punched, all the pieces have been pre-punched and prepared in advance. It'll give you the needle, your thread, and a list of instructions, and it tells you how to put it all together yourself. So this whole pouch I put together using that particular, that set. So, and then I just, as I said, added the little keychain ring here, these little loops here I added myself, so it dangles from my pouch, and that's what I'm keeping my brass container into for now. So, this is Greenhat-Redbeard Adventures. Stay safe, have fun.